Folks, today I'm going to talk to you about the difference between a divine birth and the human birth. It's extremely important to understand this because otherwise you will not be able to understand or appreciate the words coming from a divine birth or divine incarnation. The recent divine birth or incarnation was Jesus Christ, and nobody was able to understand what he was talking about when he was alive. Though people have created a religion and started worshipping after he died, after they killed him. So it's extremely important for you, for every human being, to understand the difference between a human birth and a divine birth. Before I talk about this, I want to tell you very, very clearly the following fact. Experiencing to be or experiencing that you are the divine is different from hearing about the divine, hearing or being told by the divine, or reading about the divine and imagining in your mind what is the divinity. Because the other day I was watching a YouTube channel, they were talking about Advaita. He was saying it is not the two. That's true, it is not two. But what are those two? And what is the one which is Advaita? Unless you experience you are that Advaita, or you are the first two separated from each other, separated from the Advaita state, you really cannot talk about the Advaita. All that people can talk about Advaita is they will, when they say the two, they will imagine something about the two, and then they will say the two becomes one. That's all they can say. It's like, for example, living in India, hearing a lot about the life in America from people who lived in America, or watching the video or YouTube channel, or reading a book, etc., etc. It is not same as living in America. The same thing is true if you are an American. Hearing about the life in India from others by reading the books or even by visiting is not same as visiting India is not same as living in India. There is a total difference between the two. I want you to keep that in mind. The words coming from a divine incarnation is first hand, whereas the words coming from others or the human birth, reading about Advaita and so on, is second hand information. Keep that in mind. Okay, now let's go to today's topic. I've been telling you in my earlier videos that you are surrounded by three divine lights: the white light, the red light, the golden light. I also told you the red light that is surrounding your body comes from your father and mother. The sperm coming from your father is surrounded by the red light. That because that is a physical entity. And similarly, The egg from your mother was surrounded by this red light. When they joined together, they created the first cell surrounded by the red light, because that first cell is a physical entity. Now, in addition, I told you that when the sperm comes out of the father, it has the power to swim in the cervix or the birth canal of the mother and reach the womb. That ability to move, the life to move, that comes from the golden light surrounding the red light of the sperm. It is that golden light which gives the mobility to the sperm. That comes out of the father when he experiences the extreme joy of the climax. When a man experiences that climax, he is not true, he is not a human being. He totally forgets who he is, and that 1 minute or 1 second at which the sperm comes out, he has the divine experience. This is what is called a lower level pleasure or lower level divinity in Indian tradition. I don't have the exact English term for that. Okay, so basically, the golden light which gives the mobility to the sperm so that it will reach the egg inside the mother's womb comes from the father. And after the body is formed, after the first cell is formed, at some point during the growth of that first cell multiplying to multiple cells and so on, the white light joins. That white light is a ray directly from the sea of white light. So that is how the three divine lights are surrounding the human body, the human birth. So the white ray of light is what gives you the feeling of you, the individual, that is you. And golden light surrounding your body is the one which gives you life and also a feeling of love and joy. It is the same joy that your father experienced at the time of the sexual climax. The red light comes from both father and the mother, and that's what surrounds your body. That is the human body, that is the human birth. Apart from this, there are 7 chakras, energies from 7 chakras, and I'm not going to go into the details of that at this point. I've talked about that in earlier videos. Those who are interested, they can watch those videos. Now, in opposition to this, in contrast with this, the divine birth in this world has the same 3 divine lights as any human birth, but they experience the white light, the sea of white light. They are made to identify, in other words, they experience It is not an individual ray coming from the sea of white light. They realize that they are the whole sea of white light. For example, when I experienced that there was a white cow, and from that numerous and a lot of white rays coming and joining me, and each ray is an individual. That made me to realize that I am the sea of white light. And also in another spiritual experience, after merging with that white light, I was not gone. I didn't disappear. I was surrounded by this white light. That I realized that I am that white light. It is this important experience which makes a divine birth different from the human birth. Invariably, it is it is impossible for a divine birth to think they are the individual. They think everything in the whole universe is that divine birth. They identify with the whole universe, everything. That is why I am unable to really take the side of any religion. I say right from the beginning that God is beyond all the religions. There are divine truths in each religion, religious scriptures, but the divinity is beyond that. It cannot be captured by any of the scriptures, any of the religious scriptures. It is beyond that. I cannot see that you are a Muslim or you are a Hindu or you are a Christian or a Jew or whatever, or Buddhist. I can see you are a human being born, the very you inside you is born in the white light. That's what I see. I don't see you as a Christian or a Hindu or a Muslim. It is because of the fact that I am that whole white light. It is because of that experience I cease to be a human body, a human birth, a normal human birth born to my father and mother in India. And also, the golden light surrounding me or dominating me or making me to talk about the divine love is not the golden light that has come from my father when I was born in this body. During my first spiritual experience, if you recollect, after the golden light entering into my body, totally cleaning it up and making me to realize I am that golden light which made me a divine birth, a divine incarnation. And in other words, the golden light, the whole of golden light has come from what you call God in Christianity or Maheshwara or Shiva in Hindu religion. It is the whole of that golden light that is dominating me. That is why I am unable to love only Indians, though I was born in India. I loved everything in the whole universe because that golden light is the life of the entire universe. Everything, every living being. And also, when I experienced the three united heads which were formed when I looked at the darkness and a golden light coming from my forehead creating a lovely woman at the center of those three heads, the head which was in the center. And when I merged with that, I became the one with the five snakes behind me. That is the red light. And that I'll talk about later in a video. That is the father principle for all the human birth. Those five snakes represent the five Buddhas, representing the five energies in the lower five chakra of the human body. But the difference between that red light, red Jyoti, divine red Jyoti, which Hindus call Arunachala or Shiva, and Christians call the Father principle, has come from the God or the Maheshwara and the God of in the world of or the kingdom of God. And that red light dominates me, dominates every divine incarnation. That is why for you as a human being, it is extremely difficult for you to escape the Maya or the illusion that what you see out there as a world is the illusion created by the five senses. It's almost impossible for you to see it. To some extent, those who experience the red light can experience it. But I can very, very easily, it is almost impossible for me to think that this world that I'm seeing through my five senses is the real one. It is not the real one. Every divine birth knows that very, very well, without any shadow of doubt. So that is the difference between a divine birth and the human birth. That is why if you notice, most of you are earning for something at the higher level, something called God. I never ever earned to become one above me. I only see all the human beings yearning, wanting to unite with the divinity. But how much they are ignorant of not knowing what divinity is. I see from the whole an individual. I'm not seeing being individual though, trying to see the whole. I am the whole. When I see you as a human being, I see why you are yearning to be one with the whole. So, folks, in short, in summary, the three divine lights surrounding the human birth. The red light has come from the father and mother. The golden light comes from the father, and the white ray, which gives you the feeling of you, comes as a ray, as an individual creation from the white light. Whereas in the divine birth, the I-ness inside them is the whole sea of white light. It's not the individual created in the white light. And the golden light surrounding a divine birth is the whole of the divine light that has come from Maheshwara, Shiva, or God in Christianity. The red light that surrounds the divine birth is what Hindus call Vishnu or Vinayaka, which rules over the five senses, five Buddhas, are called by Christians in Christian tradition as the Father, the red Jyoti. That is the difference. So, I also said very clearly, unless you are a divine birth, you cannot really experience Advaita state, or how the Dvaita, the initial separation, came from the Advaita state. Everybody else can only hear, read, imagine, and then express what they have imagined. But only the divine birth can talk about authentically the first Dvaita state and how from Advaita the Dvaita state came from. And Advaita does not belong to Hindus. The notion of Advaita belongs to the eternal unknown. That's a state of Advaita. Does not belong to any specific group of people. It belongs to the whole humanity. The Dvaita state does not belong to Hindus, though they use the Sanskrit word Dvaita, Advaita, and so on. That belongs to the whole humanity, the whole universe. That's what I want to talk to you today. I'll talk to you again in another video, another important topic. If you have any question, please leave a comment. I will respond. Talk to you soon, folks.